Welcome to the Texas Goat Radio Show. I'm your host, Victorious. This is part 2 of 1734, I believe.
Niggling is going to, break the matrix. You want to talk about a matrix? The fact that we can now niggle our way around my entire timeline. So people think of a timeline as a straight line. It's actually more like a record. You can jump around with the needle. And so we can niggle all over the place, finding out when I said stuff. We can, the autists can start matching numbers, coding. Cartoonists can take any phrase they want. The trolls are going to be euphoric. That's why, there probably will be a feed and niggle. Because I'm all for giving the trolls unbelievable tools. But it's going to come at a price. Lady QAnon Bear, really appreciate your continued dissection of current grift. It's extremely valuable. It's a bit of a bummer to be further alienated from those I used to somewhat relate to. You don't need to be alienated. We'll get to that. You can just have a different opinion. You don't alienate yourself. I was talking to one of the bears up at Ursa Rio this weekend. Oh, it was Wild Med Bear. It was Patrick. It was Arto Survival. He was like, dude, sometimes normies are cooler to hang out with than truthers because you fucking laugh about stuff and you don't have to always be a bummer. And everything, you don't have to always be against everything, okay? And he was like, that's where the bears come in. That's why the bears are so valuable because you...
Probably the guy said normal people are better to hang out with than bears. I'm sure he didn't say truthers.
We're like normies that are truthers. You don't have to alienate yourself from anyone. It's like just because you might know how a system works or not to trust certain things or how NASA mythology works, it doesn't mean you can't have a great time with normies.
Just because you're a cult member doesn't mean you have to be awkward about it.
Because a lot of normies are actually cooler to hang out with than a lot of quote-unquote truthers. And that's just a fact. I'm not done with this letter yet, but I want to get to this. All right. Rumble. Scumbearer says, tipping ain't easy. Entropy won't accept me. And out of about 20 attempts, I eventually got one to go through earlier, but now it's not having it again. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Scumbearer. But thank you for Rumble ranting me. Beardo Bear. Hey, BB, any advice on 1-minute stand-up set? I lost a bet. Best bard in the land, Wizard Slayer, and Spellbreaker. Thank you. Yeah, just tell 2 bar jokes and take your time. And don't forget to smile. Keep up the crushing. Thank you. B. Lawrence Bear, keep crushing COD. And just a tip, have a good night. Indeed. And for as abusive as I can be to Coddington, this one's just for him. I did an entire set just for Codsworth. Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. They say I don't do stand-up anymore, but I do, don't I, girls? So, hey, girls, I'm going to move you to another field. I'm going to hire a moving company. Oh, really? You're not going to laugh at that? Well, guess what? You're all going to be hamburgers. No, I'm just kidding. I just overreacted. Hey, girls. How about the politics these days? It's utterly ridiculous. Hey, girls. How about I get you on a nice insurance plan? Caflac. Yeah, I still got it. I'm still crushing it. Hey, it's a 2-hay minimum. How about hey girls. Hey girls, the sun's straight up in the sky. I think it's high moon. Hey girls, the sun's up, but later in the day, the moon is gonna come out. Well, anyway, make sure you tip your wait staff and don't drive drunk. I'll see you guys next time. Owen Benjamin Comedy Bard, OwenBenjamin.com, Film Grain Studio, everyone's getting it. Denmark Bear. Hey, Denmark Bear, you want to see the Tech Revolution? Tech Revolution has hit the live stream. Check this out. So we now have Niggle. okay? And it's not available to everybody, but let's just say we want to search utter. So when have I said utter? I was utterly calm in the knowing that when I had overly irrational feelings. So at 2 hours 36 and 1 second.
I really don't think that he understands what it means. No, he does. Reading words said by someone, especially a quote-unquote comedian, but he's used to that because of the whole Twitter thing. That's almost word for word what Joe Rogan tried to get him to understand.
Unauthorized.tv at the petrodollar ends, but super chats and mail still crush. I say the word utterly. Okay. Let's think of something else. Like, how about Crowder? This is every time I said Crowder. Steven Crowder literally basically said mount up. No, it's not Crowder. Oh yeah, here it is. All right, Steven Crowder, bend over, Crowder. Time to take a lot of dicks in your ass. That's class in session. Big Bear fact checks Karen's. So you understand how this works. Steven Crowder's a psychopath. NASA-approved space is fake and gay. A tug-of-war over crypto letter shows us.
It's almost like he's trolling himself. I don't understand. I honestly don't. I mean, I do, because it's just gluttony, self-gluttony, self-worship. But it's just insane, though.
Why no one ever goes to the moon. And so I said, Steven Crowder is a psychopath, in my opinion. Crowder, Rogan both know the truth, but get paid to stay silent. Steven Crowder, follower, I'm struggling with drama. He's getting all the DMs from former Crowder fan. So understand what this means. So let's say Denmark Bear. This is every stream I've ever said, hello, Denmark Bear. Hey, Denmark Bear, check out how he's got Mudblood money. That was from Where Creativity Comes From, filling the ladle from the Akashic Gravy. This is how many times I've referenced old Denmark Bear in the last 2 years. So we can go all the way back to, shout out Denmark Bear. Hello, Denmark Bear. Okay. The fuck is a whooping cough, I said. But I'm not white. I'm so different than the French. Who pretends? All right. So, yeah. And real quick, Denmark Bear just obviously, but ask yourself, Denmark Bear, quote unquote, at hour 1:15:35 at Unauthorized Art of Survival Demonology. Shut up, Denmark Bear. As you can see, I say that right here. Does Denmark Bear remember laughter? That was March 18th, 2023. 11/11/2022. And it was kind of a dark sync. Okay, you're going to lose everything. Ray, just cancel the festival. Come on, Ray. I have no idea what that means. Denmark Bear, you tried and sexualized me again. That was November 3rd, 2022.
There's no way that whoever put this together for him did it for free. I wonder how much he paid for it.
So for those of you that don't know, the Gravy Tank Owen Benjamin livestream now has its own search engine called Niggle. Niggle you can type in any phrase and find out exactly when and where I said it. Now, what does niggle mean? Niggle is a word that means a trifling complaint, dispute, or criticism. It is an excellent book except for my few niggles.
And it causes slight but persistent annoyance, discomfort, or anxiety.
Troll is actually a niggler. And so because this search engine will actually revolutionize my trolls, where they can be able to hunt for anything I've ever said, which is going to be great for them, but they do have to pay me for it. Rumble, Jack says, thanks for all you do, BB. I'm catching up on past streams. You're dead on about the sound of freedom. I work in the trades, and the cognitive dissonance between Trumpers and Q-tards is mind-blowing. Yeah, it's fluoride and porn. Like, you know, someone can be like, think vaccines are a bioweapon, but support Donald Trump, who is the father of the vaccine, and he brags about it. And that doesn't affect them, they just still function. And I think that actually leads to Alzheimer's, which is very funny because they love to mock Joe Biden for having Alzheimer's, but the way they think and function is what, in my opinion, causes Alzheimer's. Paying gay away, thank you. Just getting my booster, says Caleb. Yeah. What's up, Nick? Thank you, sir. All right. Is Q still a thing, says Denmark Bear? Yeah, I mean, now they're rescuing all the children in Colombia. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I mean, Paul from Pockets has been ripping it apart because he worked in sexual treatment centers. And guys, there's nowhere to help the kids that are in America. I mean, these people that are from these backgrounds, like there is sex trafficking, there is these problems, there are these problems. What do you think? You think you kick in the door and you shoot the pedos and the kids are saved? They end up institutionalized for life, and a lot of them end up being pedophiles. And
so what's the argument with that? I don't understand what his point is. Say that is true.
You know, Paul worked in that field for so long that he's like, this is the most manipulative piece of shit movie I've ever. He's like, do you not see how it's manipulating you? And I've gotten a lot of private messages from people who worked with Tim Ballard who say he's a total piece of shit.
That's 100% a lie, in my opinion.
You know, and then they go, oh yeah, because the feds are
just like all of those victims that send him messages saying, I'm so glad that you're standing up against this movie. No.
Covering. They just hate. They're secretly. No, I think Tim Ballard is a narcissistic psychopath who's using the fact that people have empathy towards child abuse and victims to make himself worth 9 figures, a movie star, and get a ton of praise. Notice how rarely he says praise be to God or anything like that. He just takes it. He like loves it. He's like a fiend. Yeah, you can sell anything with crying kids, Ezra Levant. Yeah, exactly. Like in the future, if you want to niggle, like when I say sound of freedom. So you can niggle it, and the sound of freedom right here. Do you hear it, guys? It's the sound of freedom. It's 7 seconds. These Sound of Freedom movies, but the Sound of Freedom, you're like a black, dark cloud. And I got raised beds and all that because this is my job. Yeah, I just watched the Sound of Freedom. Fucking everyone's got to. Yeah. And you'll be able to just look up anything I've ever said at Niggle. No audio on Odyssey, Coddington. It's probably you. You're probably a fucking retard. Letter got returned for short on postage, but 2.0 in the works. Great streams this month onward. Thanks, iBear. Pedophilia is actually easily cured. No, but you haven't actually looked into it. A lot of people love their violent bloodlust, thinking about killing pedophiles like they love it. But they don't think about actual victims because they don't actually care. They're liars. They're like these. It's kind of like what the left does with carbon footprint, with their private jets and their climate change and all that. The right does it with pedophilia. They all sit around and go, "Oh yeah, I'll string him up. I'll cut off his dick. I'll eat his dick. I'll burn him alive." Is it niggle.com? No, it's not going to be just a website any asshole can use, Jacobal. We're going to use it internally. And then we'll see what we can do down the line. We'll figure it out. But the kids, they don't get saved as soon as you shoot the guy raping them. They're now severely traumatized. That's why the way to actually make the world...
It's almost like he's making a certain kind of argument with that.
...world a better place is to raise better kids. To, like, develop your community.
Raise better kids.
Strengthen your community. Okay? Because, like, once they're broken, it's like you You can work through it, but it's usually, you can't. Like, just being honest, like, usually people are pretty fucked for life when they're in that type of world. Like, they were bought and sold as child sex slaves. Like, you don't just get a blanket, some hot cocoa, and become a normal person. You know? It's like people deal with, like, relatively mild abuse compared.
This dude's retarded. I'm putting it mildly. He is mentally retarded.
That for the rest of their lives, you know, it's like, and then when you
I mean that as purely as you can mean that. By the definition of retarded. This dude is mentally retarded.
Ask these quote-unquote right-wing heroes if they want to live next to these people. Like, let's say you had someone from 3 to 12 worked in a human sex slavery warehouse in Colombia. And Tim Ballard came in, fucking shot everybody. Oh, yeah, cut off their dick. Oh, freedom. And then would you want to live next to the saved people? What if they're just like, like, would you want the non-English speaking, probably pedophile, damaged, crazy people living next? Of course not. So then they have to be institutionalized. Do you want to pay for their lives now? No, you don't. You know? And that's even like highly compassionate people don't. Like, do you want to pay for all the trauma right now in Sierra Leone? Do you want to go to Niger and Chad, and do you want to go to like South Sudan and pick up the pieces of these people, put them next to you, and pay for their lives? No, you don't. That's why, you know, Tim Ballard's already pushing the chip for kids and globalism. Of course, obviously. Like, you don't actually want to, like, you know, the welfare system that we already have with a lot of these areas, you don't want that. You want to focus on your own neighborhood. Like, let's say, in order to really save the children, your taxes go up to 70, 80%.
I really don't understand why he's spending five different live streams talking about this. This is insane. And there's a certain point of his argument where it really almost sounds like he is arguing for allowing it to continue.
And you just have to institutionally house a bunch of Nigerians for the next 60 years. Would you do that? I wouldn't. And if you want to call me cold, no, I'm just being honest. Would you want to bankrupt your country in order to patch up these holes all over the world? And then you ask yourself, why are these people so traumatized? Is it the wars? Is it America, like the Western powers will go in, strip mine a country, take all the fucking uranium, all the oil. You know, they test all their vaccines on these people, and then they're all fucked up. Like Libya, after, you know, Netanyahu and Hillary and the big coalition, they all bombed the shit out of them. Now they have open air slavery there. So it went from the highest literacy, highest income category in Africa. Libya was doing awesome under Gaddafi. Then they brought the freedom, you know, Obama, Clinton, Netanyahu, all these people, the neocons, McConnell, McCain, like all these people. It's a coalition. It's not right or left. They bombed them into oblivion, and now you can buy and sell people for like $30. You can buy a dude. Okay, do you want to be responsible for them now? Like, you have to provide and institutionalize them the rest of your life? Or these Colombians? No, how about you don't break it to begin with? How about you don't destabilize Iraq to begin with for weapons of mass destruction that did not exist? How about we stop lying about our foreign policy so that Well, it's the equivalent of taking all your glasses, shattering them, and then saying, give me all your money and I'll put them all back together. It'll take me about 20 years. How about you just don't break the glasses? How about you just live in a way that doesn't traumatize people? How about that? Oh, you sound like you're protecting the human sex traffickers. My point is so fucking obviously true. And once you see my stream, there's really no going back. Check this out. People are starting to warn each other. Take a look at this. The warnings are getting fucking real out there.
I must warn you about this comedian, Owen Benjamin, right? He's a homesteader in Idaho. He used to be a comedian in Los Angeles, California, United States of America, land of free, home of the brave. Once you listen to 3-hour streams on a daily basis, you realize that Andrew Schultz, Theo Vaughn, Joe Rogan will sell their own mother for $20. They are morally deprived human beings that promote sodomy and abortion. They don't give a fuck about anything.
Sell their own mother for $20. Unlike Owen, who will literally sell his soul for a piece of gold.
Their own ego in their bank accounts. I used to struggle. I used to sort through my phone, all my subscriptions on YouTube, and say, who can I watch today? And I'm like wondering why. The content's gotten so dismal lately. You know why? It's because we regurgitate the same shit. Because when they're in this constant hedonistic state, that's not like productive to creativity. So yeah, be warned. Owen Benjamin, Rumble, and Betaria. Good shit, man.
Dude, it's a fucking legitimate warning. Yeah, people writing me, they're like, I just watched Tom Segura's special. He does a joke about jerking off his 5-year-old son. Okay, you want to stop the human sex trafficking? You want to stop it? Okay, worry about yourself. Worry about your own culture. Worry about the fact that a now Stadium Act that's protected and promoted by Joe the Toe Rogan talks about jerking off his 5-year-old. Okay? And it's obvious. It's obvious how fucking gross it's gotten. And that's why, I'll just slowly keep taking over. Because they're so fucking disgusting.
What?
And to hear
What did he just say?
Okay? And it's obvious. It's obvious how fucking gross it's gotten. And that's why, I'll just slowly keep taking over. Because they're so fucking disgusting. And to hear the sound of freedom is so powerful. No, wanna know what's powerful? I'll show you what's powerful. You're just gonna put your head in the sand? You're just gonna go farm and family and you're gonna watch. A bear painted this of my son. I got a message today of somebody saying that because they watched my son play violin, like their kids are now in violin. And so this art is uplifting, okay? So people are inspired to raise better kids and keep Western civilization being trained into their kids. That's how you actually save the problem. You might be able to affect 5 kids, 8 kids, 10 kids. I get to affect thousands of kids. And that's how you actually make change in the world, okay? Watching a movie made by fucking psychopaths is not helping anybody. And that's not me. Oh, you're just full of hate. You're secretly protecting. No, you have to build something beautiful. Okay, so Ursa Rio has had a lot of...
And here's the situation. No matter what good comes out of any of this crap, it's in spite of Owen and not because of Owen. And the reason why I say that is because it's built on a foundation of greed, deceit, spellcraft wizardry, self-worship.
Tension around it and attacks and media and whisper campaigns and all this shit. Because I was one of the first people to ever do a crowdfund for land. And we successfully did it.
No. All right. This is the Texas Go radio show. And I'm your host, Matorius. As always, till next time.